Hello everyone, this is Mr. Brain Junkie here, and today we'll be talking about a monster film called Rising Boas in a girls' school. Be ready for some spoilers ahead. Somewhere in the countryside of China, a bunch of very expensive cars are driving across the rocky pathway and eventually arriving to a mysterious factory. A rich woman comes out from her car who turns out to be the owner of this place, and she's here to show all her buyers about her very expensive products. They quickly head into a large cave as the manager tells the boss that their new drugs are working very well to increase the size of their animals. It turns out that the woman is a seller of snake skins, and she promises all her buyers that she can make 10 times the products compared to her competitors. She brings the people towards the back to show off the quality of her snakes, but are quickly surprised to see that all the animals have disappeared. The manager screams in anger and rushes to find the serpents immediately, but what they don't realize is that the animals are still here and watching the humans from inside the shadows. The boss lady slowly goes towards the wreckage, but soon begins feeling a bunch of sticky liquids dripping on her face and realizes that a giant black snake is right above her. The massive creature stuns all the people in fear, while the woman is quickly devoured by the monster as it swallows her into its jaws. Very soon, numerous snakes begin dropping onto the people and biting their necks, while the humans try desperately to fight back, but are quickly proven to be no match for the creatures. Things become even worse as the giant serpent appears inside the crowd and begins eating the people like it's having a human buffet. The monster knocks the victims away using tremendous force and biting onto the workers one after the other. The manager sees this and tries to escape from the area, causing the giant serpent to chase him across the rooms and eventually rushing out from the cave. The man continues running across the forest but quickly stumbles towards a cliff that's overlooking an isolated school. Before he can get any help, the creature grabs onto the manager and throws him into the bushes where only screams can be heard. The monster eventually launches out and begins staring at the buildings below as it plans to devour even more victims inside the school. It's quickly revealed that the college is actually made for training flight attendants, and only girls who look like models are accepted into the program. The women are taught a bunch of skills, which includes kissing their passengers back to life and looking very pretty to avoid scaring their customers to death. They must also take showers all together, just like in those Japanese movies not made for kids. What the girls don't realize is that the snakes have already made it into the building, while the giant serpent is eating all the humans and killing the students one by one. At the same time, a girl called Mona is going to her locker in the change room, but quickly sees a snake inside, which causes her to run towards the exit immediately. However, the woman is eventually forced onto the wall as the black serpents corner the helpless girl and causing her to scream continuously. Luckily, a security officer named Chow is able to hear the screams that's obviously coming from the woman's change room. The man rushes towards the doors and runs inside for the rescue as he knocks away the poisonous creatures and carries the girl away from the area. They are quickly able to make it to safety, while the man immediately reports what happened to the head of security. Realizing the severity of the situation, Chow decides to rush out immediately and eventually arriving into the broadcasting station as he plans to warn everyone about the danger. At the same time, the principal is showing all the investors about his plan for the graduation ceremony and promises the people that it's going to be better than all the other schools. However, their discussion is quickly interrupted by the voice of Chow from the speakers as the man warns the people about the numerous serpents inside the campus. The principal tries to calm the investors down by assuring them that everything is fine, but the flight attendants quickly realize that something is very wrong. The people slowly turn around in fear as they see the massive serpent in front of their eyes and causing all the humans to freeze in disbelief. The monster kills the principal immediately while the others are forced to run for their lives. The giant creature begins knocking the people into the air and devouring the humans one by one, while even more serpents are released into the buildings and causing chaos in the process. All the students begin to panic panic as the animals are killing the girls in the classrooms and causing all the people to rush away from the building as they try desperately to escape. At the same time, Chow has decided to leave alongside his friend, and they eventually join all the escaping students who are running across the campus. Chow quickly notices that the giant snake is tearing through the crowds, causing him to tell Mona to run as he rushes back to save the others from the creature's attacks. The woman tries to help her friends as well, but only sees the monster devouring the girls and blocking their way. This forces them to run back towards the classrooms, while the giant creature chases them closely behind. On the other side, Chow is able to make it towards the buses, but quickly realizes that Mona is not here, which causes him to run back immediately to save his future girlfriend. The man rushes into the campus while shouting for the girl's name, and eventually arrives in front of a building where he finally sees that the woman is hiding inside. Chow rushes towards Mona immediately, but the girl quickly sees the monster appearing right behind the security guard. She tries desperately to tell the man about the incoming threat, but Chow is too busy trying to save her, which allows the creature to crawl towards him. The man eventually realizes that something is wrong as he slowly turns around and sees the giant monster that's about to attack. Luckily, Chow dodges the ambush and starts running for his life, while the massive serpent is closing in very quickly. This causes the man to fall down while the giant monster launches in for the kill, but Chow is quickly rescued by a senior officer called John, who pushes him away from the attack. The two men rush into the building right away and trapping the creature outside, while the animal knocks the old man across the room. The people quickly recover from the attack as they stare at the giant monster in shock and realizes that they have to find a better way to escape. The two slowly maneuver towards the creature, and Chow is able to notice a wire in the upper floors that can lead them across the buildings, which gives the men a terrible idea. The giant serpent continues waiting for the people outside, while the two men secretly climb across the buildings by using the rope. Very soon, they're able to slowly make it towards the center as they maneuver across the unsuspecting creature. However, their weight is too much for the wires to handle, which causes the anchors to break loose and tossing the man's phone towards the bottom while hitting the animal as a result. This alerts the monster towards the people's location and causing it to attack furiously as it barely misses the humans before dropping onto the ground. The people take the chance and tries to escape, but the wires quickly break loose and tossing the humans towards the other building while causing them to crash inside. Luckily, the two men are not injured and they quickly run towards the other survivors as Mona embraces the main character and turning him into a simp. Before the situation becomes even more awkward, Chow tells the people that the rescue team should be here very soon and they need to stay inside the building to avoid being killed. The two eventually decides to go search for more supplies on the second floor, but surprisingly runs into a girl called Macy and her boyfriend who just finished their bedtime exercises. They rush downstairs immediately towards the other survivors, while the main character tells the girls to change into something that's more practical for running. However, when the boyfriend Jay tries to call for the rescue team, they're quickly informed that the police are not going to make it until 5 hours later. This causes all the people to panic in fear, but the boyfriend tells the girls that they can all use his vehicle to escape. All the students begin to rush outside as the main character tries desperately to stop the people, but no one seems to believe the man's warnings. The survivors quickly run towards the parking lot, but is ambushed by the monster immediately, who devours the victim into its belly. Chow tells the people to come back right away, which causes the humans to run towards the building, while the monster chases them closely behind. The group tries to make it upstairs, but Mona quickly realizes that one of the girls has been captured by the enormous creature. The victim begs the people to rescue her, but Chow tells Mona that it's already too late, giving them no other choice but to run the other way. The two eventually catches up with the other people, but quickly realizes that the serpent is right behind them. This forces the humans to run across the hallway that's filled by snakes as they quickly enter into a room while trying to keep the giant monster out. The girls begin to use all the sheets that they can find and eventually manages to make a giant rope as they try to escape from the window. The people start climbing out from the building while the massive creature is pounding continuously on the door, and all the survivors are quickly able to make it down except for Chow. The monster eventually breaks into the room as it launches towards the main character and forcing the man to jump through the window to avoid being killed. Luckily, Chow is able to fall towards the people, which allows the humans to catch the man and helping him break the fall. However, before the team can recover, they quickly see that the giant serpent is coming towards them as well, which forces them to run immediately. The group is eventually able to make it towards the cafeteria, where the people can finally take a break, and Chow grabs onto the boyfriend in fury for putting everyone in danger. Jay refuses to take any blames and quickly points out that Mona also left her friend to die as well. This causes the woman to slap him across the face, as she tells the man that he'll be left behind if this happens again. Before their arguments continue, the monster breaks into the building through the windows and begins charging furiously at the humans. The survivors are forced to run once again as the giant creature chases them closely behind. The people eventually makes it into a cold storage as the giant monster begins creeping inside while looking for its prey. The humans try desperately to hold their breath in the freezing temperature while the creature slowly passes by their location. Luckily, the giant serpent did not sense any of their heat signatures, which eventually makes the monster leave the area. Chow takes the chance and begins leading the survivors towards the exit, but quickly sees that a bunch of smaller snakes are heading towards them. With no other choice, the man tries to make the temperature even lower while freezing the girls in their skimpy outfits, but also making the snakes hibernate as a result. This gives the people a chance to make it out from the area as they try their best to avoid stepping on the venomous creatures. However, before everyone is able to make it out, Mona falls down and gets completely covered by the poisonous animals. Chow tries to save the woman's life by carefully moving the serpents away, but is quickly bit by one of the snakes before they are able to escape. The team quickly runs towards the emergency room as they put the main character on the hospital bed so they can try and save his life. Seeing that things are quickly getting worse, Mona has no choice but to begin sucking out the liquids from the man's body, which causes him to pass out as a result. The people wait patiently for the main character to recover as the giant serpent continues hunting the humans by following their scents. Very soon, Chow is able to regain consciousness as he manages to completely recover from the poison thanks to Mona's oral abilities. However, John quickly breaks the celebration by telling the people that 5 hours have just passed, which means that the rescue team should be here already. Jay decides to call the police force immediately, but only finds out that they have been delayed even further until tomorrow. This causes everyone to panic once again, but Chow assures the people that they still have a way out. He tells the group that they won't survive until morning, which means that they have to make it towards the parking lot and use the vehicle that Jay claims to have. The people begin packing all the supplies that they can, but a girl notices that the boyfriend has taken a syringe into his pocket and quickly realizes that something is wrong. She brings Jay into a private room and reveals that the man's vehicle only fits 2 people, but offers to give him special services to exchange for the only other seat inside the car. This causes the man to think with his smaller head as he prepares to do some aggressive cuddling inside the classroom, but quickly realizes that his girlfriend is right outside. Macy begins walking towards the couple like a Terminator as the man decides to run from the upcoming catfight. However, before things can become physical, Macy notices that the giant serpent has found their location. The woman takes the chance and pushes the other girl towards the window while feeding her into the monster's belly. The creature quickly rises up once again, which causes the woman to run the other way as the giant serpent chases her across the hallway. Macy eventually makes it towards the others and putting everyone else in danger by luring the creature here while forcing the group to run for their lives. The people rush downstairs immediately as the monster chases the humans furiously, but they're eventually able to make it outside. The team rushes towards the patrol car as everyone scrambles inside, but Chow decides to buy the people some time by shooting the flare gun at the giant serpent. This allows John to start the car as they all jump into the vehicle while barely escaping the monster who continues chasing them from behind. The team rushes towards the parking lot as they try to shake off the giant serpent, but the vehicle eventually runs out of gas and stranding the people inside the campus. The humans have no choice but to run while the massive creature approaches closer and quickly devouring anyone who's left behind. The group is eventually able to make make it towards the parking lot, but the people are shocked to see that the vehicle is a two-door convertible. Chow realizes that he's been lied to and tries desperately to stop the man, but this only causes Jade to stab the main character by using the tranquilizer. The boyfriend manages to break free as they run towards the car, but soon realizes that everything is too late as the monster appears right in front of them. Surprisingly, the man pushes the girlfriend towards the giant creature, which causes Macy to be killed by the serpent immediately. The people sees this and runs the other way, while the monster begins approaching the boyfriend as well and devouring him in a single bite. At the same time, the survivors continue running away from the creature, but Chow quickly becomes paralyzed due to the tranquilizers in his leg. This allows the monster to catch up towards the humans, but before the serpent can make the kill, it's quickly distracted by a bunch of fireworks from the other side. It turns out that Zhang is using a drone to fend off the vicious animal and luring the giant monster towards him while saving the others by allowing them to escape. The people are eventually able to make it into a storage area, but Chow begins feeling extremely guilty for failing to save all the people who died. However, Mona reminds the man that this is not the time to mourn, as they have to escape from the area before even more people are killed. This manages to bring Chow back to his senses, but he refuses to run anymore, as he thinks that killing the monster is the only way for them to survive. The people begin grabbing all the weapons from the warehouse and arming themselves like a zombie apocalypse, while the main character plans to use the fireworks to fight the giant serpent. Very soon, the people begin heading outside as they walk together like the Avengers, and Chow decides to use himself as bait while shooting the flares towards the sky. This catches the serpent's attention immediately and causing it to rush towards the humans right away. The monster eventually arrives towards the main character, but it's quickly revealed that this was a trap as the people begin surrounding the creature from all sides. The humans begin shooting furiously at the giant creature by using all the fireworks and causing the animal to scream in pain as it gets burned inside the tremendous heat. However, the serpent retaliates immediately and knocks the girls across the field by using its massive tail. Chow sees this and rushes in to help his teammate and managing to save Mona's life by shooting furiously at the creature from behind while dodging the enemy's attack at the same time. The serpent is able to recover quickly, but Chow grabs onto the box of fireworks and begins running towards the monster while eventually throwing the explosives inside the creature's mouth. This causes the animal tremendous pain as it shakes violently, which allows the people to fire at the creature altogether and making the monster fall onto the ground. Thinking that they have finally won, the people stand in front of the massive animal in victory, but the creature attacks the humans immediately and knocks them away like ragdolls. Chow sees this and quickly grabs onto the fireworks while bombarding the creature with all the firepower that they have. However, this only angers the monster even more as it knocks away the people using tremendous force. The serpent eventually turns the attention towards Mona and launches in for the kill, but Chow is able to charge in just in time and stabs the animal right on the head. This causes the creature to struggle in pain and eventually shaking off the main character as a result. Realizing that they're not going to win the battle, Chow decides to use the backup plan as he pours all the gasoline onto the giant creature, but also trapping himself as well. The man shouts for Mona to light the fire while the girl refuses to kill her friend, which eventually allows the massive serpent to devour the main character into its mouth. Mona screams in agony and runs towards the switch as she finally lights up the fireworks that covers the giant monster in flames while burning the creature alive. The people watch in disbelief as the monster eventually falls down onto the ground and finally dying as a result, but the girls have trouble celebrating their victory after so many losses. Suddenly, to their surprise, the people notice that Chow was able to survive as he crawls out from the animal's mouth just in time. This causes Mona to run towards him and embraces the man in happiness, while the main character also notices that John has somehow survived as well. Very soon, the people begin to hear the sirens approaching their way, and the rescue team is finally able to save the remaining survivors inside the campus. At the same time, Mona begins helping Chow strap up his wounds and eventually kissing the man for saving her so many times. This causes them to embrace each other once more as the sun rises into the horizons. So what do you guys think about this movie? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like my videos, please press like and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time.